you know, like the idea everything's ironic. We reach a point now where there's no way to do anything, or even do comedy in a way where you're trying to be direct, you've got to be ironic about it.
No, it's true. Every television show, everything.
It's very New York thing. You're insulting the audience as you feed them something.
But people expect that now, don't you think? I mean, even in the most mass-produced American television has that kind of.
If it's too sincere, they think you're putting them on too.
Mm-hmm.
How about, this is real European bad taste, and I don't think he's in on his joke. Leos Carax, Polar X. Did you see that?
I saw Polar X. That was like boom.
Yeah.
That was like a ludicrous art film. Yeah. That was like astounding. As you watched it, you thought, what? And the other one I love, what was the French film, The Girl on the Bridge? Or the one...
The Girl on the Bridge.
The really ludicrous one with the fireworks scene. Oh my God, that was a howler. You know, to me, it was...
And then there's Michel Legrand. What's no, absolutely no, it's not Legrand. But he was a king of French bad taste.
But these are not international ones. I mean,
well, Polar X played.
Yeah, Polar X did, yes, but no. I mean, in Italy there is amazing bad.
But there's not ones that cross over.
I saw them here. I saw two mid-90s. Think that you can't believe
that one called Bad Taste, wasn't that Italian? No, that was Australian.
But you can still see the influence, and that no television dares to do yet. When Seinfeld touches it a bit, there's always in your films and there's always one or two images or scenes in there so distasteful, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So really outrageous that you think it's not possible. It cannot be that this.
But I don't know there is such a thing as that.
Oh yeah. For example, this all you know about Mary, you know, this haircut.
Oh yeah. But see, that's a Hollywood movie, though. Well, but it looked fake, you know. I mean, that's the difference. Is you know Divine ate shit, and you know that wasn't real cum in her hair.
Yeah.
Nobody ever thought that they said, "Come here." No one thought that, you know. And even the dumbest people in the world never think there's real violence in a movie. They don't watch Chainsaw Massacre. Even the students say, "Do you think they were really hurt?"
The whole thing was kind of much really enjoyed the movie, and then suddenly there was a rat, wasn't there?
Oh, there was rats having sex. Yeah, but you know,
and not just a rat we have seen in horror movies. That was a very, very well presented in the very moment that we didn't fit at all.
Well, yes, it did because it was my credit in the movie.
But your head right.
Yeah. But what was worse than that is when we filmed that scene. I told somebody else's story today. There was just two people holding the rats. We tried everything. We showed them rat porn. Nothing worked. But so it was just somebody on top holding them like this finally. And there was the veterinarian with the rats, and it was a wall, and I was on the other side watching on the monitor, and it didn't have sound. We filmed at MOS, so I'm sitting there joking, directing, saying, "Get it, baby, fuck me," you know, like, and it was over really a long time, and I said, "Cut," and I looked over, and the veterinarian's 6-year-old daughter was there. That was the horror. Sometimes there's worse. I said, "I'm really sorry." He was like, "Oh, yeah." Sometimes there's worse horror behind the scenes of a movie. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever feel at any point that you had to pull back?
Well, I look at Pink Flamingos, and the real blowjob scene in it is something that I probably wouldn't do today, because at the time it was a parody on Deep Throat, and porno had just become legal that year. It was like porno chic in 1972. I probably wouldn't do a hardcore porno scene today, although maybe I would. I don't know. The chicken thing, would I do that today? Probably not. Even though I've defended the chicken scene forever in Pink Flamingos, that we ate the chicken, and you know, we bought it at this place that freshly killed chicken. We made the chicken's life better, basically. It got to be in a movie, it got fucked, and got famous. And eaten. But people said to me, "Well, would you hurt an animal?" What, eating it, it's hurting it. I mean, I wasn't going to take it home as a pet. But would I today kill an animal in a movie? Probably not, no.
You really kill those chickens?
Yeah, we ate them. You know, I mean, we ate them, and we didn't have craft services then, you know. I mean, on Pink Flamingos, you had to go find something in the woods, hunt it down, kill it, and eat it, basically.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, there was no lunch or anything. But, you know, people flip out about that chicken, but Well, we ate. Danny ate it. The guy that played crackers.
Do you know that the singing asshole cost me one student? The student that already signed up, got his money, was about to wire it to the school, and then he went into the online class with Natalie.
Really?
And Natalie just gave the praise of the singing
asshole. Well,
no. To this school I don't want to go.
Well, let me tell you a good story about the singing asshole. I met him. How I met him was someone said, there's this guy you should see, he can sing with his asshole. So I was sending him over, right? So now I would say, please don't. But anyway, knock. He was there and he said, I have something. Yeah, show it to me. I went, oh, okay. A star is born, right? But then, on the 25th anniversary of the movie, he's married now, has a family, he's a computer technician. I said, does anybody recognize you? And he said, well, they aren't looking at my face. And then somebody offered him $3,000 if he would come to this it was a nightclub in Boston, and they were celebrating their 20 years, if he would come and do his act. And I said, well, do you want to do it? And he said, oh, I don't know, would they beat me up? I said, no, they like that you did this. He said, well, the muscles aren't what they used to. But he would go to the premiere, when it was re-released in the theaters, 25th anniversary, he would go into the audience, this is terrorism, and would sit there, and when his scene came on, he'd tap the person next to him and go, that's me. People would really freak out, And they'd look over, can you imagine if you're sitting there? And I said, did you ever show it to anybody? He said, well, there was a woman at work, I gave her the tape she put on my desk the next day and refused to comment. Can you imagine if she just said to somebody at a straight job, you want to see a movie I'm in? Sure. And go, that's the guy that I work with. But I'm sorry you lost a student. But maybe you gained a couple too.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Also, it's a good kind of, what's it called, litmus test.
Yes.
If you hate John Waters, don't come to our school.
Well, that got busted. I mean, that's the film that on the video, that when we got busted, I told our class the story that the family called the police when they saw that story. And, who do I call when Forrest Gump starts running? There's scenes to me that are obscene too. It's just everybody. That was a joyous scene. He told me it was a yoga exercise. And, we filmed that no one was really there. We filmed the audience applauding, and then his shot, he didn't have to do it in front of everybody. He just did it alone that day. It was a whole other day we filmed him. And I've never revealed his name.
I have a question, you've probably been asked this a lot, but do you find now that working in a larger budget with a lot more resources, and you're not shooting things so much out of necessity, limitations being imposed on you, that it's sometimes more of a struggle to get your ideas?
Well, the thing is, it is still a struggle, because on Cecil B. DeMented we had something like 30 days to film an entire action movie with all union teamsters. I mean, every possible union. I'm not against doing that, but it was really hard. I had to do one take a lot, to get it done. Those people, we didn't even have overtime. We couldn't afford to do overtime. So it is still always a struggle. I think the only time I had enough movie was Serial Mom. That was the only time I had really enough money to make the movie without cutting things to the last minute. Everybody on every movie. The guy that did the Titanic had to put his salary up because they didn't have enough money at the end. You never really have enough to do it the way you want it. So every movie halfway through cuts things and changes things and puts two characters together and that kind of thing, which is very last minute, and every day on the set that kind of thing comes up. But you have to learn how to do that, because now the movies I make, there's a bond company. If you go over, they take the movie away from you. So they look every day, and your reputation is about coming in on budget and coming. It's very important if they'll let you make a movie. Like my movies, if they aren't big hits and they aren't real commercial, the last thing, if they hear on top of it that you go over budget, you really will never get it made. So it's tough. You have to come in budget, really.
What was the budget for
Cecil B. DeMented was probably about $8 million. But there was, 7 main characters or 8 main characters. I mean, we had Stephen Dorff, Melanie Griffith. They didn't work for scale. I mean, it wasn't that kind of thing. We all had the big trailers, everything for them. Now, I'm sure Melanie worked for probably less than she usually worked for, but she was a great sport. She got into it, but you can't expect that kind of movie star to come and take a piss in the woods. You have to be realistic about it.
But a normal average Hollywood movie costs about $40 million.
Yeah, an average Hollywood movie is $40 million.
Yeah. Stuff what an average Hollywood movie costs.
Which is amazing that an average movie costs $40 million.
This is so well thought, coming down to us, money, bottom line,